The uncensored self writes her own rules. She chooses what success means. She chooses what enough means. She chooses the life she's creating. The uncensored self knows who she is. She stands firmly in her desires. She decides what is possible. She trusts herself. The uncensored self creates a life she loves. She leads work that matters. She creates wealth. She makes space for joy, adventure, and the people she loves. The uncensored self is powerful. She claims what she wants. She makes bold decisions. She creates extraordinary results. She expands what's possible. The uncensored self is fully expressed. She says what she means. She expects what she wants. She is brave enough to be seen. She lives out loud. The uncensored self leads herself first. She leads an extraordinary business or career. Her life reflects the woman leading it. The uncensored self lives abundantly. She creates wealth. She receives as fully as she gives. She refuses to choose between ambition and aliveness. She loves the life she's building while she's building it. She is the uncensored self. Welcome back to the Uncensored Self podcast. I am Ryan Gillen, and today marks the beginning of a new era. We are doing a little bit of a podcast rebrand and some exciting things happening. So here I am today with my Uncensored Self manifesto and no other notes to talk to you about the direction of this podcast, the direction of what we're doing, where we're going, and what's in it for you. So for the last couple of years, it's actually been over 2 years ago that a friend and a client of mine dubbed me her business therapist. And I've used the language business therapy. And actually, literally up until about a week ago, my plan was to rebrand this show to Biz Therapy Live and dive deep into it. And for whatever reason, I couldn't pull the trigger. I couldn't make myself do the work. And that's usually a sign to me when you learn to play the energy game that when you can't do the thing, there is usually a reason why. There's something that you know is holding you back. Something is off. And again, when you play the energy game, you know, your intuition is always right. So through some deep diving with my coach, with my mentor, and really digging into it, it's time to retire business therapy. Not because the work was wrong and the work isn't any different. Like the business therapy mastermind is still launching and I'm still going to teach the process, but I'm going to change what I call it because the language is no longer the full truth of what we're here to do. Because therapy, in my opinion, and again, this is my opinion, you know what they say about those, in my opinion, is about fixing something, right? We go to therapy to fix things, to understand things. But to you, to me, in the essence of the energy game, you're not broken. The business isn't broken. You do not need to be fixed, right? And so therapy, it kind of has that language and that connotation to it. Some of it's subconscious. I'm not anti-therapy. I love therapy. I've been through therapy. I have clients who are in therapy. I'm not anti-therapy by any stretch of the imagination, but this isn't about healing something or fixing something or sitting around talking about something and not actually changing. Because the women in this space, the women who listen to this podcast, the women who come into my programs, they are ready for more life, more money, more freedom, more joy, more aliveness, more of themselves, right? And so that manifesto I read at the beginning of this is I've really been chewing on it for the last couple of days. The Uncensored Self, this podcast, this body of work is for the woman who is ready to write her own rules, not the woman who is ready to fix herself, right? This podcast and this space is for the woman who's ready to choose what success means, not fix what's wrong, right? The woman who's ready to stop buying into the old bullshit that says that you have to work harder, sacrifice more, suffer longer, or lose yourself to create the life you want. Here in this space, my heart of hearts, what we do is I believe that you are the creator of your reality. Your life reflects the woman leading it. Your business reflects the woman leading it. Your career, your money, your relationships always reflect you. And the goal isn't just more money or a corner office or a car or a house. It's a life you fucking love. And this is where we talk about identity, right? Power, energy, creation, money, leadership, work, life, the both and, right? It's both and ambition and aliveness, wealth and peace, extraordinary results and a life that you actually fucking enjoy living. And I want to be very clear. My proposal is not that you become somebody that you are not, right? It is becoming the uncensored self, the woman who knows who she is, the woman who knows what she wants, the woman who creates every single motherfucking thing she desires. That is what this podcast is about. And so again, I am not downplaying my work. I'm not downplaying the importance of my work in any way, shape, or form. The women who've gone through business therapy, the most on the inside is not changing, right? But I realized that I had accidentally hitched myself to a name and a modality that isn't actually what we do here. We don't just therapize things. We don't therapeutically walk through a process. You change who the fuck you are and your experience of your life when you are in this experience. We talk philosophy, we talk ideas, we talk identity, but we have really core beliefs that aren't about fixing. They're about fucking choosing. And so that is what we are here to do on this show. And that's what this is about. So if you don't know my story, I'm going to tell you the very quick version. This podcast might be one of the shortest I ever record, but it just felt so important, right? Like it's halfway through the year. And it just felt important to come in here and talk about this, right? As we change some of the graphics that represent more me. I don't know if you noticed in the past, I had a picture where like when I still had my longer hair and it's a really polished photo of me. And again, it's an excellent photo. I loved that photo shoot. It was so fun, but it's just a representation of the old version of me. And so the uncensored self, the woman that I just read to you about in that manifesto, she's not just you, she's me. And I am bold and I am loud and I am direct and I own who the fuck I am and I am an activator. I activate women to own their full potential, to own their power, to understand their personal power so that you can create whatever you want. So like I said, inside of my spaces, my containers, not a lot is changing, but the way that I talk about it and the way that I explain it, I don't want to be the person who fixes you. I am the person who activates your next level, who helps you activate that energy that's been inside of you for a very long time, probably lying dormant behind questions of why the fuck is this still so hard? And why have I hit every goal I've set for myself and I'm still unhappy? And why can't I just be happy with what I want? Or why does it matter know how much money I make? I still, it doesn't feel like enough. Why do I not know what I want? I just know what I want to be here. We're going to answer those questions. And those questions don't need therapy in my regard. If you do need therapy, if you have something pathologically, there's my medical disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. But my medical disclaimer that tells you if you need support, if there's actually something you need help with, like, let's go get that help. I want that. I believe in that. But this is not about I need help. This is about I desire. I desire to be more alive. I desire a different experience of life. I desire a different experience of business and money. I am tired of doing things the same motherfucking way that everybody else does. That's what we do here. And that is the uncensored self, right? It's not business therapy. It's the uncensored self because it's you. It all comes back to you. Your results are dictated by you, right? The amount of money in your bank account is dictated by you. The way your clients treat you is dictated by you. The way that you show up in the world is dictated by you. So let's motherfucking own that because you're not broken, my friend. You are so powerful and you simply have forgotten, right? You have been programmed and conditioned and just seen it over and over and over again that the price of success is hard work and suffer and sacrifice. And we are done with that. I am done with that. You are done with that. So I'm asking you, if you care to, in the back half of 2026, for you to draw a line in the sand and for you to make a decision that you are fucking done with anything in your life that doesn't serve you, because I am. I am done with anything doesn't serve me. I am done with my limiting beliefs. I am done with my bullshit stories. I am done with any kind of identity of lack, of limitation, of inability, of fixing, of changing. And instead, we just fucking own. I once wrote down a mantra from my coach. It was probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Actually, no, gosh, over 2 years ago. When I wrote down, I own, I create, I decide. I am the source of all that is. I own my results. I create my results. I decide my results. I own, I create, I decide. I am the source of all that is. And so this is an invitation for all of us to fucking own that, to understand it. What does it mean? What does it mean to own my results? What does it mean to decide what I get? What does it mean to be the source of that all that is? And I feel like maybe I have danced around these concepts with you. Some of them out of fear of being too woo, of not fitting in the business world. Like, you guys know, my background is in business. I had a 15-year corporate career. My first handful of years in entrepreneurship was teaching sales. I used to be sales systems and sales processes and overcoming objections, and everything was very business driven. And not that, again, this work is for women in business, but it's not about your business. It's about you, because it doesn't matter what kind of business you have. It doesn't matter whether you are in a corporate career. It doesn't matter whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are a business owner who's bought a franchise or something like that, whether you're a realtor, whether you're a mortgage lender. Your success and your results are driven by the woman inside of you, the woman that you think that you are, and the way that you show up in the world. And I'm excited. I am honored. I am blessed to be here with you. And like I said, I think this one's going to be short. My brain keeps telling me, Ryan, you should talk for longer. But my intuition says I said what I needed to say. This is a line in the sand for all of us. You are not broken. You do not need to be fixed. There is nothing outside of you that is ever going to impact the magic that is inside of you. So the end of this, I'm going to read this manifesto to you one more time. And I'm going to tell you why a manifesto. Let me tell you that. Okay. I do feel called to tell you that before we wrap up, right? Like, why a manifesto? So, when I first came into being an entrepreneur, I was an online entrepreneur and through a woman who was in Russell Brunson's world. And if you don't know who Russell Brunson is, he's the founder of a software called ClickFunnels. He is the one I talk about having been in a $50,000 mastermind of his inner circle of 7-figure owners. It was through Russell Brunson. But one of the things he always talked about was writing a manifesto, right? Giving your audience, giving your people an identity, right? He called them funnel hackers. And so for almost every iteration of every brand I've had, I've written a manifesto, like, who are the women in this space? And it always starts with me, guys. Like, I'm no dummy. Like, I'm the leader of this movement. I'm the creator of my reality. It has to start with me. And I don't know if this is just a reclamation of that power or a reclamation of that, but I finally felt called over these past couple of days after taking some time off. Riding on the back of a motorcycle for 6 hours over 2 days and really thinking about, like, what is the movement I want to create here? And not to knock therapy, but I don't want to sit around on a couch and talk about your fucking problems. That's not what we're doing here. What I want to do is help you have a life that you fucking love. I want you to make as much money as you want to make. I want you to do work that you love. I want you to spend time with people that you love. I want you to show up in the way that you want to. I want you to wake up every single morning excited about your life. I don't want to therapize you. I want you to transform from the inside out. So I'm going to read this manifesto to you one more time. And I'm reading it to you because, again, this is the identity that I think is up for all of us to claim in this transformation, in this back half of 2026, on this podcast, in this life. And so I'm going to read it for you one more time. Okay. And I want you to, as I read this, I want you to hear it, and I want you to feel it, and I want you to feel yourself in this. So the uncensored self, right? She writes her own rules. She chooses what success means. She chooses what enough means. She chooses the life she's creating. The uncensored self, she knows who she is. She stands firmly in her desires. She decides what is possible. She trusts herself. The uncensored self creates a life she loves. She leads work that matters. She creates wealth. She makes space for joy, adventure, and the people she loves. The uncensored self is powerful. She claims what she wants. She makes bold decisions. She creates extraordinary results. She expands what's possible. The uncensored self is fully expressed. She says what she means. She expects what she wants. She's brave enough to be seen. She lives out loud. The uncensored self leads herself first. She leads an extraordinary business or career. Her life reflects the woman leading it. The uncensored self lives abundantly. She creates wealth. She receives as fully as she gets. The uncensored self lives fully. She refuses to choose between ambition and aliveness. She loves the life she's building while she's building it. She is the uncensored self. You are the uncensored self. I am the uncensored self, and we are just getting started. Share the show with a woman you love. Share the show with a woman who you know is ready. And the next series I'm going to lead you in is all about identity. I have developed the identity practice, which is literally, I believe, the practice that changed my life. I've simplified it into a practice you can do in 30 minutes or less a day. I'm going to link that in the show notes for you to go download it. But we're going to take a deep dive into identity because, again, how do we become the uncensored self? How do we embody that? That's what we're going to talk about over the next couple of weeks. And I'm just glad you're here. Like I said, like this, share this. If you haven't reviewed the show, I would greatly appreciate that. If there's a woman in your life that you're like, holy fuck, I love this show and she needs to listen to it too, please share it with her. And I'll see you guys next week.